Yo, 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 Man Cave Podcast with Coach B coming to you live. It's Friday night. It's Friday night. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. I know what you need. I know what you need. You need. Cause it's Friday. Hey, Man Cave Podcast coming to you live, y'all. Come on in. It's Friday night. It's Friday night. It's Friday night. Let's go. Let's go. Hey. Hey. Man Cave Podcast coming to you live tonight. Coach B. It's Friday, people. Come on. Y'all know how we get this thing popping. Hey, I got a little MJ tonight. Let's go. Woo. It's Friday night. It's Friday night. It's Friday night. Yes. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. I apologize for the technical difficulty, but we back. We live. I'm on my Facebook Live page tonight. And we at Man Cave Podcast with Coach B. How y'all doing out there? Sunshine. We getting started with a little Michael Jackson tonight. Yeah, blame it on the boogie. Let's go. Hey, hey, hey. Don't control yourself. Come on. Don't try to control yourself. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, listen, share this broadcast, post on this broadcast, tag people on this broadcast. Man Cave Podcast is coming to you live tonight. It's Friday night, and guess what? We ain't gonna blame it on nothing. We gonna just blame it on the boogie. We ain't gonna blame it on our bills. We ain't gonna blame it on our spouse. We ain't gonna blame it on our children. We ain't gonna blame it on our boss. We ain't gonna blame it on our job. We just gonna blame it on the boogie because it's Friday night and you're on live with Man Cave Podcast with Coach B. That's right. That's right. Yeah, we got the moves. That's right. Get on your Facebook Live, text your friends, text your homeboys, text your brothers, text your male co-workers, text your fathers, text your spouse, and let them know that Man Cave Podcast is on live Facebook. Come on. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. I'm excited. As y'all can see, I'm excited. I'm super, super excited. I'm telling y'all, I'm excited because today has been one of those days that, man, it's just been absolutely amazing. I mean, it's been mind-blowing from the time that I woke up this morning. I tell you, it's just been, man, I can't even explain it, but I'm going to try to explain some of it as we begin the show. Thank you guys so much for joining and tuning in for another episode of Man Cave Podcast with Coach B. I'm your host. I'm your MC. I'm your moderator tonight, Coach Kevin Boudreaux, a.k.a. Coach B, a.k.a. Be the Man. Yeah, that's me. And I'm super, super excited. Listen, do me a favor real quick. Tag somebody, share with them, let them know that the podcast here, the man with the plan, Mr. Be the Man is on tonight, and I'm ready to talk to you guys for just a little bit. I tell y'all, it's been a great, great day. I got man, I don't even know where to begin. It's just been so much been going on. I don't even know where to begin. But we in June, and I want to really start off by I want to share something with y'all. Okay, this is a share exclusive. I haven't shared this with everybody, but this is like my 4th or 5th episode for the podcast, and I got some good friends of mine that are not on Facebook, but they are on they listen to the podcast on YouTube, and they listen to the podcast on other different digital streaming. And one of my best friends reached out to me and said, hey, man, I'm loving the podcast. I'm loving what you're doing. Keep doing it. He said, but man, let me tell you something. Do you have an intro? And I said, do I have an intro? I said, yeah, you don't hear the countdown, you know, the 10, the 9, the 8. And he said, no, that's a generic intro. He said, do you have an intro? Do Coach B have an intro? Do Man Cave Podcast have an intro? And I began to kind of scratch my beard and scratch my head. And I said, no, I don't really have a intro. He said, well, guess what? Let's take the podcast to the next level. Let's get you an intro. You need to get you an intro. So we kind of put our heads together and we reached out and we began to, connect A with B and let A and B connect C and D. And I want y'all to hear something. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Okay. Here you go. This is a Man Cave Podcast exclusive. Okay, check this out. Tell me what you think.
This episode of The Man Cave with Coach B. Make sure to like and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's try this again. Here we go.
You're now entering The Man Cave. The weekly podcast with discussions, interviews, and advice on different men-related topics. So get ready. You're now in the Man Cave with Coach B.
Ha! You're now in the Man Cave with Coach B. Guess what? We have our own intro! Woo! Woo! Yeah, Man Cave Podcast. For those that are just tuning on, if you just missed it, we have our very own intro. I'm going to go ahead and play it again for you for those that didn't hear it. Here we go.
You're now entering the Man Cave. The weekly podcast with discussions, interviews, and advice on different men-related topics. So get ready. You're now in the Man Cave with Coach B.
You are now in the Man Cave with Coach B. That's right. Man, I'm surrounded by people that don't mind stretching you when they see that you're doing something that not only you love, but something that God has called you to do, something that is made and tailor-made for you, something that you have a passion for, something that you have a drive for. They don't mind tapping you on the shoulder and say, hey, what you doing is good, but let's take it to the next level. What you doing is awesome, but let's expand a little bit. What you doing is fantastic, but I believe that there is something more that you can do. And we put our heads together and I'm telling you, when I first launched this podcast, I was not thinking about an intro. I was just thinking I was going to play music or something like that there and go ahead and continue and move on. But somebody tapped me on my shoulder and said, no, we got to take this thing higher. No, we got to make this your own. He said, you can play other people's music, but you need your own personal intro. You need your own personal outro. And I had no idea at the beginning who I could reach out to that could help me with this. But Lord and behold, if you're just willing, he'll send you somebody to make sure that you can get what you need. I'm super, super excited. Again, listen, I want to take the time out as we get ready to jump into the show. I want to congratulate all of the graduates. I mean, everywhere you turn around, every stadium you drive by, every arena you drive by, you see caps and gowns, and you see balloons, and you see flowers, and you see confetti, and you see congratulations. And I just want to take the time to congratulate all of the graduates of 2023. I'm talking preschool, I'm talking elementary, I'm talking middle school, I'm talking high school, and yes, I'm talking college. If you graduated in any area, I salute you, I honor you, I applaud you. Coach B says congratulations. But I have some people that I want to specifically congratulate people that I know personally, and I want to congratulate two of my nephews who are graduating from elementary school and are now headed to middle school. That's Dwayne Boudreaux Jr. and that's Caleb Mack. Congratulations, young kings. I'll see y'all in middle school. I'm super proud of you. To the 2023 graduates of the Power to Be Foundation. Y'all know, for those that don't know, it's my nonprofit organization for young men that we coach and we train and we mentor young men. And I have 5 kings that are graduating from high school. I want to congratulate Dylan Botts, who was a 2023 Power to Be scholarship recipient. I want to congratulate Caden Clark, who was also a 2023 Power to Be Foundation scholarship recipient. I want to congratulate Mr. Takai Jackson. I want to congratulate Mr. Donovan Matthews. I want to congratulate Mr. Everett Payton, all on a job well done for graduating high school. Congratulations, young kings. And I could not congratulate the kings without also congratulating some young queens, okay? I want to congratulate Mrs. Naomi DeVille, that's graduating from high school. I want to also congratulate Miss Kiara DeVille as she's graduating high school. I want to also congratulate Mrs. Casey Stewart as she's graduating from high school. And last but certainly not least, I want to congratulate our baby Cabria Boudreaux as she graduated from high school. Woo! Job well done to everybody, all of the high school graduates. Woo! Woo! And the cool thing about it is seeing everyone that I have talked to, everyone of the graduates that I know personally, kings and queens, all are scheduled to go to school in the fall. So they're going to continue their education. I'm super proud of our daughter, Cabria. She chose on Sunday that she'll be following in her big sister footsteps when she steps on the campus of Grambling University this fall. Yeah. She made it official just this past Sunday at her graduation party that she's going to be going to Grambling University, HBCU. Yeah, and we know Grambling oh so well because her older sister graduated from Grambling, so she's going to follow in her footsteps and go and be attending Grambling. Okay? All right, so congratulations again to the graduates. Congratulations to me on my intro. I got one more thing that I want to congratulate me on. You know, sometimes you just never know who's watching you. You just never know what you're doing. Sometimes we post stuff on social media and we just think that we just be posting stuff. You know, sometimes we post some, we look our Sunday best. Sometimes we have our bonnets and do-rags on. Sometimes we looking sloppy. Sometimes we all fly and clean. You know, I posted a picture back in November, okay, of a photo shoot that I was doing. I did a photo shoot in November. I don't know how long ago that was, but I did the photo shoot in November. And when I did the photo shoot, I posted one of the pictures and I tagged Tote and Carry, which is a black-owned company that sells like luggage and sells like bag sets. If you've never heard of them, I'm telling you, they're very, very awesome. I love them. And my wife, she really loves them. Like for real love them. But I took a picture and I posted it and I tagged them on it because part of my prop, I used their bag. I used Tote and Carry's bag. And that was in November. And then today I get a message said, hey, do you know you are on Tote and Carry's website? And I said, huh? They said, yeah, you are on Tote and Carry's website. You don't believe me? Go to it, www.toteandcarry.com. They said you are on Tote and Carry's website, and then they sent me the picture. And there I was, with my suit on, with my tie on, looking, how Be The Man look at the photo shoot, doing, what Be The Man does. And I'm kind of posing with their bags, and they use my picture on their website to promote Father's Day sale. And I'll tell you, I was just like, wow. I mean, I could not believe it. They sent it to me. Then I went to the website. Then I hollered for my wife that was in the other room. She came in. She went to the website. She was like, oh my God, yeah, that is you. And you know what I'm saying? I posted it on social media, and I texted the photographer that did it, and she went to the website and was like, oh my God, and she was thrown away. And I say that just to say, you just never know who's watching you. You just never know what God has planned for you. You just never know what God is stirring up. You just know, like I said, I posted that picture in November. Now, what made Tote and Carry, the company, reach all the way back from a picture that I posted in November to use it at the beginning of June, I don't know. But that's just the type of season that God can call you to be in. I don't know season. I don't know how it happened. I don't know why I got the phone call. I don't know why the check came in the mail. I don't know why this person called me for a job. I don't know why this person wanted to interview me. I don't know. I mean, it was just mind blowing. And I was honored, and I was grateful, and I'm still smiling, and I'm still excited, and I'm still happy, and I'm still giving praise, and I'm still boogieing, because it's Friday, and that's what we do on Fridays. We boogie on Friday. All right? Now, all of that. Yeah. I got all that. I got all of my, I'm telling y'all. And that's only half of my day. That's only half of the day that I've been going through. But, all is well. All is well. So let's get to tonight's topic. Let's get to tonight's subject. We stepping in the month of June, and I talked about the graduates, and I talked about, summer and the kids being out for school for the summer, and the weather's getting hot. So a lot of stuff, different things that go on in June. But also in June is the month that we celebrate Father's Day. It's a day, Father's Day. Yeah, it's a day where we celebrate fathers. It's the third Sunday of the month of June. And my topic today is Father's Day. Is it a holiday, or is it just another day? And I was talking to one of my daughters. She called me earlier, and we kind of talked for a little bit, and she said, hey, Dad, what's your show going to be about tonight? And I kind of told her what it was going to be about, and she was like, oh, that's interesting. That's good. We kind of dialogued a little bit, talked about it. Because the truth of the matter is, me personally, I can see it from both sides. I can see it from being a father. I am a father of 3 girls, okay? And I can see it from having a father. Okay. Now, and watch this. I can see it as from a holiday's perspective, not just a holiday, but a major holiday. I can see it as a major holiday because I am a father. I take pride in being a father. I enjoy being a father. I love being a father. I love my daughters. They know. But with the upbringing and the type of relationship that I had with my father as I was coming up, I can also understand it being just a regular day. It's not a secret, what type of relationship my father and I had coming up. It was the type of relationship my mother and my father was together. He was in the home with me, went to work every day. But as I got older, I began to realize that the type of father that I needed, he was not, and it's no shame, it's no plug, it's no talk down, anything like that. But I want to get back to the conversation that my daughter and I was having. And, I was telling her, I said, people can understand both perspectives. People can see both sides of the story. It's just a regular holiday. Some people, it's a major holiday. Oh, my daddy was my hero. Oh, my daddy was my point of reference. Oh, my daddy taught me how to tie a tie. My daddy taught me how to tie a fly, change a flag. He taught me how to talk to girls. He taught me how to be a man. On the women's side, my daddy was my first true love. He was my Superman. If I called, he came. Anything. My daddy was my rock. My daddy was my protector. My daddy was my security guard. All of those things. I was a daddy's girl. You know what I'm saying? All of those things can make you really celebrate Father's Day in a major way. But what about those who didn't have a relationship with their father? What about those that said, hey, I don't even know who my father is? What about those that said my father ran out on us when I was a little child? What about those that said, I see my father, he stayed 2 streets over from me and he don't want to have anything to do with me? What about those that say, hey, my father, he left me and started a whole nother family and he's been a father to his other kids, but for some reason he don't want to be a father to me. So when you give that instance, you see both sides, and tonight's show is not to cut up or to downplay either way. You know what I mean? Because again, I've been on both sides. I've been on both sides to where when I was coming up, Father's Day was Happy Father's Day, Dad. Hey, Daddy, Happy Father's Day. And that was it. That's all I had. I wasn't trying to go buy no gifts. I wasn't trying to go to no restaurants. I wasn't trying to, none. And if I could just be honest and I could just be truthful, that was how I feel. And guess what? Believe it or not, there are millions of other people that feel that way. Now, Mother's Day, on the other hand, it's a big hoorah. It's one of the top holidays, next to Christmas, next to Easter and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a major holiday. Restaurants are all sold out. You see flowers being sold. You see candy everywhere. You see cards everywhere. You see all of this stuff going on for mothers because Mother's Day is celebrated a whole lot bigger than Father's Day. And I'm not shooting shots. That's just the facts. Father's Day, you may get, Happy Father's Day, you may get a tie, you may get a robe, you may get, something. Now, I can be honest, my kids and my wife, they take care of me on Father's Day, But even going back to that, my wife makes sure that the kids look out for me on Father's Day, make sure that I'm celebrated on Father's Day. My mama, Father's Day, it wasn't a major thing to her. So because it wasn't a major thing to her, it wasn't a major thing to us. You see what I'm saying? And some people, they just, Father's Day is really just another day. And and there is no, again, you feel how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Your decision is your decision. Your thought process is your thought process. I'm not here to judge whether you right or whether you wrong, because again, I've been on both sides. I know what it's like to think of Father's Day as a major holiday, as something, woo, can't wait. I get excited. You get stirred. You get, you know what I'm saying? You get to sending your kids, hey, man, do this. And my kids know my Father's Day list or my birthday list. I don't mind text. I text pictures. I text this. I text suggestions. I text all, you know what I'm saying? Because it excites me. And it excites them that they want to do it for me. It lets me know the type of father that I am to them because they want to do it. When I was coming up for Father's Day, I didn't want to do anything for my dad. I didn't. And I don't say that to boast. I don't say that to brag. And I don't say that to try to sound like, a big shot or a big man. That's just how I felt. And I'm not, and the way that I used to feel, you still have people feel like that today. It's Father's Day, and it's Father's Day. It's just another day to me. It's Father's Day. Okay. I'm going to call him. But I ain't going, you know what I'm saying? Mother's Day, you start planning for Mother's Day in May. You start planning for Mother's Day in January. You start making dinner reservations for Mother's Day in February. Father's Day. Oh man, it's Father's Day. Let me stop and get Daddy some Louis. Mother's Day, y'all going to Juliet, and y'all going to the fancy steakhouses, and y'all going, you dinner on the water. You going to a nice brunch. You doing all these nice things for Mother's Day, But Father's Day, let me stop and get him a 3-piece. Let me stop and get him some Burns barbecue. Nothing wrong with Burns barbecue, nothing wrong with Luby's, no shade, but I'm just saying. And that's and we have to what is it that makes Father's Day a day that so many people feel like it's just another day? I began to do history, on Father's Day and Mother's Day. And do you know that Mother's Day became a national holiday in 1914? President Woodrow Wilson declared it, a national holiday. Now you would think because Mother's Day was 1914 that either Father's Day was 1913 or 1915 or maybe 1920. 1925, 1900. Father's Day didn't become a holiday until 1972. Mother's Day, 1914. Father's Day, 1972. Huge gap. Don't mean that between 1914 and 1972 that there wasn't no fathers. It just wasn't a holiday. It just wasn't nothing that was celebrated like Mother's Day. So fathers, even though a father was a father in 1926, in 1946, in 1956, men watched mothers be celebrated from 1914 and didn't get a chance for them fathers to be celebrated until 1972. But think about it. Fathers were still called to be in control of the household, to run the household, to be the breadwinner, to be the man, to be the security person, to be the provider, to be the voice in the house, to be all these types of things. But yet, the one day that's literally set aside for us to be celebrated as fathers did not become a holiday until 1972. Why is that? And sometimes, men can say, well, Father's Day sometimes men can downplay Father's Day. But I've come to realize that men would downplay what is downplayed around them. If it's downplayed around them, they'll downplay it. But interview a father that looks at Father's Day as like a big deal. I'm a real big sponsor for Father's Day. Every year, hey, Father's Day, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Why? Because I love Father's Day as a father. But you got some fathers that don't even like Father's Day, that they don't even pay attention to Father's Day. Oh, it's Father's Day? Oh, okay. Why? Because the atmosphere around them is downplayed. My kids make sure that Father's Day is a big deal. Why? Because I make it a big deal. I let them know it's a big deal. I put them on notice it's a big deal. Guess what though? But watch this. I make Mother's Day a big deal. I make their birthdays a big deal. Anything that they accomplish, I make it a big deal. So guess what? Because we make all that a big deal, we're going to make Father's Day a big deal too. But some men just kind of like, hey, it just is what it is. We get, okay, it's Father's Day. Hey, y'all buying me some slippers? Thank y'all. Y'all doing this? Hey, I sure appreciate it. And when I was coming up, especially like in my late teen, early 20s, coming up and, young man and young adulthood, people would Father's Day, it just wasn't all that. because as I got older, I started realizing how hurt I was. So it was hard for me to celebrate someone that hurt me. It was hard for me to celebrate someone that didn't give me what I need. It was hard for me to celebrate someone that put so much before me, that didn't make me feel like I was even, wanted as a child. And that was just a part of my upbringing. But watch this. I began to make the change when I changed. I began to look at my father different when I began to look at me different. I began to look at our relationship different when I began to look at me different. I began to look at my upbringing different because I began to look at me different. My dad was who my dad was, but I can still appreciate my dad for who he was, for the things that he does. Because if he ain't do nothing else, and I was talking to this about my daughter, getting back to the conversation that we had earlier, I said, if he ain't do nothing else, he got me here. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. Had he not got with my mama, there would be no Kevin. There would be no Be the Man. There would be no Man Cave podcast. So if nothing else, he got me here. If nothing else, you know what I'm saying? He taught me what not to do. He showed me what not to do. He showed me what I didn't want to be. He showed me what I didn't want to have. He showed me what I didn't, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like your perspective on how you look at it. I want to make sure that the type of father he was, that I wasn't. I didn't want to wait until my kids got older for them to appreciate me, for them to see, you know what I'm saying, me to be the apple of their eye, or for me to love, for them to love being around me. For me, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to wait until my kids was older and had moved on with their life and had bumped their head a million times, and then for me to come and say, hey, I'm sorry. Hey, I didn't do this right. And again, I ain't been a perfect father. My kids can tell you I ain't been a perfect father, but I've been there. And other men, they've been there. And sometimes we can say, man, I just, I ain't interested. I don't want to do, no, But if nothing else, that man, whether you want to call him your father or not, whether you want to call him, other names, he got you here. And as I got older, and as I got a little wiser, and as I got a little mature, I kind of started seeing things a little different. I kind of start, and again, people will only talk about what you allow them to talk about. As long as you allow somebody to talk about your father, they don't mind talking about your father with you, whether it's good or bad, especially bad. But you stand up for your father one time, that'll shut it all down. That'll shut it all down. And I had to do that. I had to do that one time. Hey, you know what? I know me and you used to sitting there talking about my old man like this, but we ain't doing that no more. We ain't, because I began to change. And in 2009, when my life was being transformed, it was probably about 2 or 3 weeks before Father's Day. And I made up my mind that this Father's Day for my father was going to be different. I had made up my mind that I was going to do something special for my father. That Father's Day wasn't going to be just another day, but it was going to actually be a holiday. And I remember I was talking to my wife. We was actually dating at the time. We wasn't married yet. We were just kind of dating, she was, dating me, trying to see if she wanted to spend the rest of her life with me. Same thing. I was dating. Well, I had already knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her, but she was still kind of looking, inspecting, trying to see, y'all get what I'm saying. But I told her, I said, this year I'm gonna do something a little different. As I'm actually buy my old man something for Father's Day. I made the decision, and I went shopping. I actually went shopping. I went shopping, and I was kind of looking, and I was really like kind of into. I was like, no, that don't look good. No, I mean, I was like really, 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 really like paying attention and really, really like into getting him a gift, you know. And I wanted to buy him a shirt. I wanted to buy him a nice shirt, and I just kind of, I didn't want to just grab any old shirt. I wanted to grab, something that was worth it, something that he can appreciate, something that I can be proud and say, hey, I actually picked this. I ain't just go in the men's department and pick. You got some people, they shopping for dads, or they shopping for men, and they getting the wrong size, and one sleeve cut off, and they buying them shoes, and one a 10 and the other one a 12. Just ain't really paying attention. Just grabbing something just to hurry up. Here you go, Daddy. Just grabbing. I ain't paying attention. But I was really locked in. I was really in tune. I was really paying attention there. I wanted to make sure that I got him something that I enjoyed getting him. And I settled on the shirt. It was a nice shirt, real nice shirt, real nice shirt. And I remember on Father's Day, I went to the house, and I got a bag for it and gifted, wrapped it in a card. And I went over there and I hung out with my dad on Father's Day. And we just kind of sat and we just kind of talked, and we watched the ball game. I'll never forget, we was watching the ball game. My dad, old school, when my dad was coming up, he didn't have, they didn't have television. So to watch baseball, he was a huge baseball fan. To watch baseball, you couldn't watch it on TV. You had to listen to it. And my dad never let that go. Like, even as we would have a house full of TVs, and he'd have TV in the room and living room and everywhere, he still would listen to the ball game on the radio. And it's crazy because now, I'll be riding in my truck. I'll be listening to the game on the radio. It's crazy how that happened. You thought it was crazy back then. You thought it was strange back then. But now here I am, 30, 40 years later doing the exact same thing. But we sat and we just kind of watched the game, and he had a doctor's appointment the next day. He was going to the doctor. He hadn't been feeling well. He was feeling, real, real ill, And I just kind of we just kind of sat and talked, and we laughed a little bit. We watched the game a little bit. And I'll never forget, I asked him, I said, Dad, you need help with taking a bath, because you got a doctor's appointment. He was like, oh, no, I'll be okay. I'm good. So I left that day, and I left feeling proud of myself that I had actually kind of, took time out to just really just, spend that decision to really make sure that I celebrated my dad, not only meant the world to him, but it really meant the world to me. That I wasn't looking at him with any disgust. I wasn't looking at him with any anger or frustration or bitterness or anything like that. It's like all of that just kind of went out the window, and we were just kind of enjoying the moment. I didn't think about when I was 9 or when I was 12 or when I was 15 or when I was 20. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of was just in that moment right there. We were just kind of enjoying each other's company, enjoying being around each other, enjoying, laughing and watching the game. And we talked about, some of my other siblings and stuff like that. And then I left, and he was like, oh man, I love this shirt. Thank you. And I left and talked to my mom before I left. And the next day he went to the doctor, and he actually wore the shirt that I bought him. He wore the shirt to the doctor office, and unfortunately, once he got to the doctor's office, his numbers and his labs and stuff didn't look good while he was at the doctor's office, and they immediately took him from the doctor's office to the hospital. And he left that Monday to go to the doctor's office, and he never returned home. He died like a month later because he just kind of just never really recovered. They tried to put him in a home. That didn't work well. You know what I'm saying? He's congested heart failure, and his heart just kind of gave out, and he went on to be with the Lord probably like a month later after he had went to the doctor's office. And I don't say that to be sad. I don't say that to be somber. I say that to that I'm glad that I, made Father's Day a holiday and not just another day. you know, I'm glad that I took the initiative, because sometimes, you know, we can wait as children. We can wait on our parents to apologize. We can wait on our parents to come and ask for forgiveness. We can wait on our family, our parents, you know, our mom or our father, especially our fathers. You know what I'm saying? We wait on our fathers to come and say, hey, son, or hey, daughter, I ain't get this right. I ain't do that right. Will you forgive me? But if they don't, if they don't, sometimes we have to be willing to take the initiative to say, you know what? You don't even have to tell me you're sorry. I forgive you. You don't even have to apologize to me. Your apology is already accepted. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have to go down, tell me, why you didn't do this and that and all this type of stuff. It don't even matter. I'm a better person for it. You know what I'm saying? I went through what I went through. It was what it was. I came out stronger. I came out wise. I came out better. And you can free yourself, and I freed my dad, from that. I freed him, and I freed myself. You know what I'm saying? And I think that even as as my dad went on to be with the Lord, that, I still celebrate him on Father's Day. I still take time to just say, you know what, Daddy, thank you. You know what? And and sometimes I don't even wait till Father's Day. Sometimes I just, I can just be like, man, thank you, Daddy. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? Because and some of the stuff that I got from him, it really didn't hit me where I got it from until like he was gone. Like my work ethic and my drive. People like, man, what you, it just seemed like, you just don't get tired. My dad, I hardly ever saw my dad tired. My dad wasn't, the only time I saw my dad real tired is when he was ill, when he was sick. He was a go-getter. And then, my dad didn't give me the kind of love that I wanted, but he gave me the kind of love that he had. His love was, I'm going to work, I'm going to pay these bills, the light's going to be on, you're going to have food on the table. No, I ain't going to talk to you about this, I ain't going to talk to you about that, because I'm working, I'm grinding, I'm hustling, I'm working from sun up to sundown. I'm bringing, I'm paying these bills. When you go in that refrigerator and you see the cereal and you see the milk and you see the noodles and you see the steak and the rice, that's my love. Whether I tell you or not, that's how I show my love. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of men, the older generations, that's how they showed they love. They didn't come and put their arms around you and say, son, I love you. They ain't come put their arms around you and say, daughter, you know what, I'm proud of you. They would just kind of just say, hey, you know what I'm saying? You flip that light switch on, I love you. You know what I'm saying? You pick that phone up and you able to say hello and there's somebody on the other end, that's I love you. You know what I'm saying? The food you eating and stuff like that, I love you. The roof over your head, you not outside, that's how I love you. And that and I just kind of learned that and early I learned that as he left, but I also learned that I didn't want to be like that. That I didn't want my children to wonder if I loved them. I didn't want my children to wonder if I was proud of them. You know what I'm saying? I make it my duty to let my kids know I'm proud of them. I also make it my duty to let them know when they're not doing something right or when they're doing something wrong or when they're getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. But it's always with love. It's always with love. So, I believe that Father's Day should be a holiday where we celebrate. And if it's a day that you don't celebrate for whatever reason, I pray that you find comfort in your reason for not celebrating. I pray that, you know what I'm saying, it's not any animosity or any anger or any bitterness or any frustration, your reason for not celebrating it. Because at the end of the day, you're not hurting your father, you're really hurting you. And that's the core of what I'm trying to say. I'm bringing that thing home, that when you choose for a certain reason to not to celebrate the holiday because I'm mad, because he ain't this, because he ain't that, because he didn't do this, because he did, and I'm mad at him and I'm holding a grudge for him, and he walked out and you holding all this animosity and you holding all this anger and you holding all this bitterness, then that's what I want you to get healed of. That's what I want you to get delivered from. I want you to kind of take away the title of Father's Day, and I want you to get healed. I want you to get some help. I want you to get delivered. I want you to be able to be free. That even if you don't celebrate Father's Day, you can do it with a pure heart. And that's the emphasis of tonight. Okay? So, man, yeah, this has been a awesome show. As I close, I want to, just give you my B-Take. B-Take is just free game that I share from Be The Man. You can take it, you can use it, you can apply it, you know what I'm saying? You can listen to it however you want to do it. But it says, if you have a father, and maybe you've been waiting on him to reach out to you. Maybe your relationship with your father has been rocky. Maybe it hadn't been, on the up and up. Maybe it's been a wall or some type of something that has keeping you from having a relationship with your father. And maybe you've made up your mind, man, I ain't apologizing. Man, I ain't going after him. He won't talk to me, he can talk to me. Man, if he ain't, man, you know what I'm saying? You got this feeling about you. I want to strongly suggest to you that you don't free yourself to free your father, but you free yourself to free yourself. Even if that means you reaching out to your father, that, hey, I ain't reaching out to you to free you. I'm reaching out to you to free me. I don't want to be in bondage. I don't want to hold any animosity. I don't want to hold any anger. I don't want to hold any bitterness. I want to break the cycle. And I realize that if I'm going to waiting on you to apologize to me, it's just causing me more and more frustration. It's causing me more and more anger. It's causing me more and more bitterness. So to release this off of me, I'm not going to no longer wait on you. I'm not going to no longer wait on you to apologize to me, but I'm going to take the time to just tell you I forgive you. You don't have to apologize. You don't have to say you're sorry. You don't have to you don't have to do anything. All is well. All is forgiven. If I got to get some help, I'm going to get some help. If I got to release, I'm going to release. If I got to let go, I'm going to let go. But I'm going to do whatever I got to do so that whatever I'm feeling, I can free myself. And if I can only free myself by apologizing to you, then guess what, sir? You're forgiven. And that's my B-Take on the whole thing. That's my B-Take. Sometimes you just have to forgive them for yourself. Sometimes you just have to excuse them for yourself. Sometimes you just have to apologize. You have to accept their apology before they apologize. Now that's, hey, you know what? You ain't got to apologize. I accept your apology. When you can accept somebody's apology before they even apologize, that's powerful. That is powerful. You know what? I forgive you. I forgive you. You good. And guess what? If you don't want to celebrate Father's Day because of your father, find a brother that's a good father. Find a uncle that's a good father. Find a male that you know is a good father and celebrate Father's Day for them. Don't not celebrate the holiday because your father may not be worthy of being celebrated. I'm sure that there's a man in your life that you like, man, you know what? He's a good father, man. You know what? That dude right there, that dude I go to church with, he's a good father. You know what? My brother, he's a good father. You know what? My homeboy, my coworker, he's a good father. I celebrate them on this today. I celebrate them. So find a father to celebrate. Don't have to be your father. Celebrate another father. Celebrate the fact that a father is being a father and that child don't have to go through what you went through. That child don't have to feel like you feel. That child don't have to feel the sadness that you felt. See, it's a whole lot of reasons to celebrate Father's Day. You know? And please don't let me get spiritual. Please don't let me go to the church on y'all. Because he said he'll be a father to the fatherless. So don't ever think you don't have a father. You got a father. You just got to look up. Stop looking down and look up. You'll find your father. You'll see your father. You'll feel your father. You'll experience your father. Man, I'm pissed to go because y'all man, listen. Y'all, okay, that's the show. Let me just go on. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So as I bring, thank you guys so very much for joining me for another episode of Man Cave Podcast with Coach B. Listen, for the month of June, we're going to be really, really doing some stuff. You know, my show is tailored around men, of course, and, men walking in their purpose and walking in their destiny and talking, men talk and all types of different things when it comes to the male's perspective and it comes to dealing, with men. But this month, this month, we're going to dive in. We're going to talk about, mental and mental health and depression. We're going to talk about grooming. We're going to talk about entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about a lot of different things for men because I want to see men win. I want to see men get their bark back. Not only get their bark back, but I want to see men get their fight back. I want to see men get their drive back. I want to see men be the kings that they supposed to be, the kings that they desire to be, the kings that God created them to be. I want to see men feel their purpose. All right. So this concludes another great episode of Man Cave Podcast. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. And guess what? I got something for y'all. Hold on, wait a minute. As we get ready to leave, check this out, y'all. Now I played y'all the intro for the podcast, right? Now let me introduce y'all to the outro of the podcast.
Make sure to like and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. See you next time.
Ha! And just like that, Man Cave Podcast with Coach B. We out. I see you next Friday. Peace.